What's going on, y'all? We are back for more of the amazing, the immaculate, the beautiful Hunter x Hunter. Chapter 418, we about to react to, and I gotta do this quickly because I gotta head out the door soon. So, without further ado, let's get into the chapter, shall we? Yes, we shall. Chapter 418, to be exact, Assumption. Okay, so let's see what's about to happen here. See what's about to happen next, okay? Anyway. Either I enter Zetsu and then close my eyes, or I begin Zetsu with my eyes already shut, the fourth prince Soradnik says. Either way, the ability triggers, and I can see up to 10 seconds into the future, a vision. I'm surprised because I thought, based on what was going on the last couple chapters, that he had upgraded it to be further than 10 seconds because it feels like it's further than 10 seconds at the very least. But let's see. I can see up to 10 seconds into the future, a vision, shortly before Benjamin's intrusion. Those 10 seconds I'm watching take only an instant in the real world. To the people around me, it registers as no more than a blink, ephemeral 10 seconds. If I open my eyes, the moment after viewing those ephemeral 10 seconds, the 10 seconds I saw begin playing out in the real world. From my testing, the rules of the ability I've been able to confirm are these. 1. I cannot alter anyone other than myself into a different state, into a state different from the one in the ephemeral 10 seconds. Changing their position or posture is impossible. Okay, interesting. So you can't do the basically any show that you've seen or movie where someone is either a speedster or they can freeze time and then they start messing with people and yada yada yada, like Quicksilver from the Days of Future Past era of X-Men movies, etc. They move through those 10 seconds like wax figures, clothing and hair included, and petty tricks such as slipping an object into their clothes were also impossible. So this is interesting just because it means, let's say that he's in a battle context and he's got his eyes closed. He's like, no, 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 you can't see me. He can't actually do something to the other person. He can only change himself, is what it seems like. So let's keep going. I can change the position and state of objects. Okay, maybe it's just people. He can for objects. However, I could not use those objects to directly harm another person, nor to deface things, pranks. Nor can I take something a person is already holding, though I can get ahead of them and take an object they were about to pick up. In that case, they keep acting under the belief that they did take it. Okay. How many seconds? 2.92, Your Highness. Shit. So the plateau's finally here, where my times start slipping. Before starting the ephemeral 10 seconds, I tested whether I could deliberately steer things toward the future I want to see, whether I could create the near future myself, but it doesn't work very well. Go get me some water from the fridge. Sir, right away. Close. Okay. Interesting. He's seeing him go get the water. Here you are, sir. Thanks. Opens his eyes. Sir, right away. He takes the order, goes to fetch the water, right? Interesting. Okay. So he gets there before him and takes the water himself. And he's still thinking that he's taking the water, but he's not. Here you are, sir. There's only one bottle in the fridge. So I'll go restock it now. Okay, my bad. He believes he handed me the one bottle left in the fridge. My ability is functioning normally, but when I try to pull the line, go get me some water, itself into the ephemeral 10 seconds, it doesn't work. No matter how firmly I hold the I'm about to order Salkov to fetch water in my head as I close my eyes, inside the ephemeral 10 seconds, I never see a future in which I say, go get me some water. Interesting. So there's a limit to how conveniently I can rewrite the future scenario. In short, my ability carries a restriction. It will only show me the aftermath of what I've actually done in reality. Well, it's a level 1 ability, can't be helped. This is definitely the kind of ability that does more and the more I use it. Interesting. Even after the ephemeral 10 seconds, I'm wondering if there's some kind of recharge on this as well. Even after the ephemeral 10 seconds have elapsed in reality, Salkov still believes I am standing over there. That's because I've maintained Zetsu continuously, ever since activating the ephemeral 10 seconds. That time, my Zetsu was broken by the ability of that association member, Melody. Without her, Theta would have gone on believing she'd shot me dead, and I could have kept observing the aftermath. If I hadn't dropped Zetsu, what would Theta have done then? Oh, done next, excuse me. Drinks the water, looks over. Well, too late now. And he throws the water bottle at him. What a dick. Hits him, pops him in the back of the head. Blam is the sound effect. Door shut or open. So long as I keep up Zetsu, what the people in the living room perceive is same as with Salkov, me in the middle of training. The proof is that while I'm in Zetsu, they ignore anything I do. Exactly how far my ability's influence reaches needs testing. For now, it's confirmed that the interior of room 1004 is under its control, but my sense of it is the Nen Beast stands at the spot where I activated the ability and exerts influence over a radius of X centered on that point. Okay. The prince is there. Okay, so the real me. So he's looking at the fake him, and the real him is moving. And oh no, okay, so that's Salkov, I guess, in the situation on the left. My bad. Anyway, the farther I move from the activation point, the more I get an unpleasant static-like ringing in my ears. Interesting. Like a signal going bad. That's probably why. Okay. See, now I'm glad that we're having this chapter because now we're kind of getting what the limits are of this ability, you know? And as with anything in Hunter x Hunter, there's always going to be some level of restriction for an OPS ability like this. And this one has a lot, to be quite honest. If I step outside of that range, the gap between me and the Nen Beast grows too wide, and like a spell breaking, the ephemeral 10 seconds and the world continuing on from them vanish and reality returns. That's the strongest hypothesis. So I feel like in a battle between him, if it's a three-way battle between him, Chrollo, and Kurapika, this is going to come into play for sure, in my opinion, because he's going to be dealing with two super genius high-level combatants at that point that will definitely do something that's going to get him out of that specific area. I honestly think that Kurapika could probably deduce how his power works eventually, at the very least. If that hypothesis holds, an observer from outside SpaceX is entirely unaffected by my ability. Okay, well, there we go. Which means my ability is confined to that narrow space. Well, all I have to do is use this magic to change the real world, become the king, and make the entire world mine. Special martial law declared. Special martial law declared. Yeah, they messed up his thing. Oh, never mind. My God, it's perfect. Right when I'm saying they messed him up. Anyway, my Zetsu doesn't break even for a sudden siren against any abrupt external stimulus other than pain. My Zetsu does not waver. If I or Melody's flute, apparently. If I unexpectedly strike some part of my body against something, Zetsu inevitably breaks. Dulling pain through dissociation techniques proved utterly incompatible with Zetsu. The two could not coexist, which means Zetsu is a technique that heightens the senses through the entire body while erasing one's presence. Your Highness, I have mastered the ability of Zetsu. All that remains is speed. God, give thanks to me. Give thanks to me. Shut the hell up, bro. Anyway. The First Prince's private soldiers are demanding we open the door. If we go on without answering, they'll force their way in. ... He's looking at these stickers on the ground or whatever that is. Zetsu, released. Leave them until they breach. That's crazy. In exchange, do exactly as they instruct. Pile every weapon in one place and surrender. Hands up before they enter, and do not resist under any circumstances, no matter what happens. Move. Sir, Salkov, hand over your pistol. Sir? And he just looks over at him. I'm about to die, but you report to the others exactly what you see. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Okay, it's cool. It's cool seeing this from his perspective. Bang. Didn't even need the pistol to set it off. I'd figured he'd work me over a while before finishing me. Nah, Benjamin really hates your guts, my guy. Oh no. Just as I thought, I'm quite thoroughly hated. Squish. This is crazy, bro. He's rushing because, having issued special martial law, he has to settle it all this round. He's got the other princes to kill as well, I suppose, which pisses me off in its own way. Spend more time on me, idiot. Let me see if I can see what this says for you. Nah, the print is too small. Some Siri. Continuing on. If I keep up Zetsu here in this room, I stay dead. Everyone's under my ability's influence sees me lying there, blood-soaked, skull caved in. But my Nen beast runs on my aura as fuel, which means that during Zetsu, it's burning through the aura it charged up. Once that's spent, the beast loses power, and the space disappears as well. How long the beast battery lasts must be proportional to the time I spend not in Zetsu. Right now, I'm provisionally putting the charge to operation ratio at 11:1 and adjusting my training and testing time around it. And if I provisionally set the start of charging at the moment I become aware of the ability, the beast has roughly 3 hours and 48 minutes of operation left. Okay, I feel like that's going to come back into play. Lingering here in Zetsu isn't a good move. Better to clear out as fast as possible. And if the first prince, that idiot, realizes my death was staged, Salkov will be the first to take the interrogation for me. AKA, he about to get Salkov out of here. I doubt a dying wish of "don't open the coffin" carries any weight in a succession war. But so long as the first prince believes he killed me, nobody will try to open it along the way. If the coffin reaches the king, the old man, intact, he'll understand this is my scheme, hold to his neutrality, and won't announce anything of his own accord. But equally, this guy's smart as hell, by the way. But equally, he won't lie to a prince who asks him directly. So the window in which everyone still mistakenly believes I was executed by the first prince, even after I release the ability, is a few days at the longest, an hour at the shortest, no margin at all. That said, I have to move carefully. The instant I leave this room and pass beyond the Nenbeast range, the ability is released. And if I then run into my own private soldiers or the first prince, the fools who think I'm dead, it's over. I'll have to predict their movements and steer clear of those routes. So we're about to see him really use his intellect over the next couple chapters, is what it seems like. Which is going to be cool to me, because that's always the most fun part about Hunter x Hunter, in my opinion. Right. I need to prepare a will. And an empty coffin would be bad. All this is going on in 10 seconds, my guy. But anyway. An empty coffin would be bad. I'll stuff some guns in there or something. It's funny. This weight, the smell of blood and viscera. Am I really meant to believe this is an illusion? This is Salkov losing his mind like a couple chapters ago. Meanwhile, Serednich is just, leisurely writing up a will. No funeral, no posthumous name, no send-off, no viewing of the body whatsoever. My one and only wish is a true united nation, free of duplicity. Fourth prince of the Kakin Empire, Serednik, Huguru. Let's say it. Let's go with that. Furthermore, the refusal of any viewing of is because the conditional premise, in the event that I am killed by the first prince, has been fulfilled. In that case, it is inevitable that His Highness remains would not retain their original form, and it was his express wish that his dignity as the deceased be preserved. It would have been a nuisance if the men who carried the coffin had stayed. I thought I understood that a gap in my assumptions could be instantly fatal, but my sense of danger wasn't sharp enough. Whether someone who arrives from outside after activation falls under this magic is unknown. That needs testing too. And he's looking at his own coffin. In respect for the will of the prince, who loved his country, making a bunch of guns look like a body is crazy, in my opinion. I feel like it's unrealistic, Loki. Yo, what's going on, my guy in the chat? Bro, the anime needs to come back. That's facts, but I'm not going to get my hopes that high just yet. Anyway, in respect for the will of the prince who loved his country and deliberately walked the path of thorns for its sake, let us send him on his way to peace. Could you not have saved him? Had you thrown your own body in the way? Look at this freaking bastard. And shielded the prince? He mad, bro. He big man. Would the outcome not have been different from this? Answer me, Salkov. And meanwhile, Serednik is just watching this happen. Don't talk garbage. All that changes is one fewer bullet for the first prince and one more corpse. Yeah, that's facts. With respect, sir, who is this little accountability performance even for, you bastard? And what were you doing then? Careless movement during special martial law endangers the person you're protecting and is a prohibited act. Moreover, the first prince opened fire immediately upon entering the room. No response was possible. That is not what I'm asking you. What else is there? You just want something to complain about. And Serednik ups pole immediately. Bam, bam, bam. These fools do not play in this family at all. As the royal army, we must devote ourselves to the duties before us now. That surely is what the fourth... Is he setting Salkov up? Is that what's going on here? That surely is what the fourth prince would have wished. How very commendable. Switching gears so quickly. Go on and spend the rest of your life wagging your tail for some provincial paper pusher. Bing, bing, bing. The bullets fall out of his head. That's enough. The only thing authorized was discussion of the will. Keep going, and I'll run you all in for incitement. Not another word. Seriously unsightly, Captain Vantine. Shall I swap you out for Salkov? That's crazy. Sweep of room 1004 complete. All personnel match the registration roster. Good, over here. Okay, so Theta's back to normal, which is interesting to me. He looks over at Theta. Free movement is permitted within room 1004 only. However, all firearms and items designated as quasi-deadly weapons will be confiscated. Should the entrance door open without a signal from within, it will be deemed hostile intent, and a sweep operation will be executed. Be strictly forewarned. In respect of the fourth prince's will, the body shall not be moved until 6 a.m. tomorrow. A wake will stand in place of a funeral. Thereafter, transport of the coffin shall be carried out by Salkov alone in accordance with the will. People, they're really going along with that? I'm kind of surprised. So swiping a royal army cap or uniform is impossible under the restrictions too. In that case, cover my face and force my way through is the only option. If my face gets made out there, they'll open up the coffin here and I'm finished. For now, I'll have to stage it as an unidentified intruder going on a rampage and fleeing. Interesting that he's just going to be on the move, looking like prime COVID with the mask and the hood and the glasses. This is how I looked on day one of COVID. And people were looking at me crazy in Walmart or whatever store I was in. Anyway, the weapons the Royal Army confiscated from the private soldiers are surely bound for the Central Judicial Bureau on Tier 2. And the first prince, the big idiot, I love how he be pausing to say stuff about these guys like this, must be heading there himself to make it the hub of both military and political power. Having declared special martial law, there's no turning back. It's a certainty he'll keep going until every remaining prince is slaughtered. And judging by how he killed me without drawing it out for reasons unknown, he's pressed for time. Oh, for reasons unknown, he's pressed for time. Yeah, we know those reasons. There's a lot of reasons why he's pressed for time right now. He'll be making for the Judicial Bureau on Tier 2 by the shortest route. Okay, before I read this wall of text, prime COVID left my ass off. Yeah, no, dead ass, bro. Anyway, normally when we move down to Tier 2 or below, there are 3 routes connecting passages A, B, and C. Soldiers and other general passengers use C, my bad. For a general passenger to enter the Ministry of Justice, the only way in is the central entrance on Tier 3. Goodness, here we go. But royalty and V2s have a separate entrance on Tier 2. As a rule, every public facility has a royalty exclusive entrance and passage. Sounds about right. And they're designed so that route A is the shortest way in. Okay. For the military to seize the Judicial Bureau covertly, Route A would be optimal, but factoring in how they act after special martial law has been declared, it's far faster to make for the central entrance via C and push through en masse, all at once. The first prince must be moving to Tier 3 via Route C together with his private soldiers and the royal army. Route B, they'll commit a fair amount of firepower to the mafia sweep and drive them into a corner. The heads of Zia and Shuyu have almost certainly been detained already, and the mafia's private back passages sealed off. Okay, so I'm curious what's going on with Morena and Borkson right now as well. Right now, that's the route the Royal Army is watching most closely, which inevitably leaves A. Theta, stop! It's the prince's dying wish. Break it and it. Oh, she about to open it? Break it and that makes it a second time. Understand? Ooh, that does make it a second time. Does she not give a crap? What's going on? Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared to keep going. She's looking at the coffin. He's looking at her. He's looking a little shocked. Theta, sweetheart, you'd best not. Open it while the ability's running, and all you'll get to see is my insides. And she looks over at him. Oh God, what's about to happen? She looks over at him. Can she see him? She can see me? There's no way. Oh! This is crazy. Hunter x Hunter is great. Yeah, I love this. He looks over at Salkov. Thought so. Of course not. I don't know, man. What's going on here? It feels like he doesn't fully understand his ability. He spent majority of this chapter being like, oh, I get it all. I don't think so, bro. But damn, that rattled me for a second. Theta, sweetheart, if anyone could make me drop Zetsu, maybe it's you. Ah, turns out I really am a masochist. Oh my God. Being ignored feels good. All right, let's move. The escape adventure begins. Our destination is... With the exit of the fourth prince, Serednik, the steps of the devil have begun. Interesting. This is an awesome chapter. This might have been my favorite of the bunch so far. Serednik is a ever interesting character. Theta is super interesting as well. Salkov is an idiot. I can't lie. Everybody else seems like they're kind of idiots that was in this chapter, to be honest. But shout out my guy with the prime COVID gear, heading on his way down the tiers. It's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this batch ends up. And I hope that we can just keep it rocking and rolling with the next batch of chapters. Even if we have to take a break, I'm ever grateful to Tagashi for all the work that he's done so far. I'm ever grateful to y'all for watching, and subscribe, like the video, and I'm doing plenty more streams like this and talking more about this amazing series. So thank you. Have a beautiful day. You are blessed and loved and highly favored. Goodbye.